Travel smart. Protect your path to U.S. citizenship.
Hello, greetings. I am lawyer Edwin Fogam. I have practiced immigration and other areas of the law in the United States for the last 28 years. Today, let us answer the question, how can your travel out of the United States affect your application for citizenship? First of all, there are two broad categories or two broad requirements for applying for citizenship in the United States. The first is the residency, the permanent residency requirement, and the second is the physical presence requirement. Under the permanent residency requirement, you must have been a permanent resident in the United States for 5 years prior to applying for your citizenship, or 3 years if you are married to a U.S. citizen. However, during this time period, if you have traveled out of the United States, you need to be careful how long you have lived out of the United States. If you live out of the United States for less than 6 months, substantially less than 6 months, you can be okay, because that is considered brief and casual absences. But if you have lived out of the United States for above 6 months, that is a rebuttable presumption. It's a presumption that you have abandoned your residence. However, you can rebut that presumption by showing certain things like permanent address, tax filing, employment, and so on. However, if you have lived out of the United States for more than 1 year, that becomes an irrebuttable presumption. In other words, it is almost impossible for you to argue that you have not abandoned your residency. In certain rare situations, some serious medical conditions or some cataclysmic emergency that is national or change of law can be used, but generally the irrebuttable presumption is hard to overcome. The second broad category of requirement for citizenship is the physical presence. So you must have physically lived in the United States for at least 30 months if you are filing under the 5 years provision, that is 5 years permanent residency. And you must have lived in the United States for at least 18 months if you are filing under the 3 years continuous permanent residency based on marriage. So this second requirement usually gets people because it is sometimes hard, especially if you have been going in and out, to know exactly how long you have been physically present in the United States. And many times the stamps in the passports are so mixed up or convoluted that it's hard to determine exactly the periods. So if you doubt this, you may have to end up doing a FOIA, Freedom of Information request, to get substantive information before you actually file. So I hope this information was helpful to you. If you have questions, please do not hesitate to call us. Our number is 301-608-1555. You can also send us an email to info@fogamlaw.com. And please don't fear the system. Understand it, work with it, and benefit from it. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and leave us a review in the comments.